Here from the Hannibal TV.com with another wrestling and XFL news update, which, by the way, I didn't even remember that it was XFL first weekend of its new Rock ownership. I guess maybe the week one was publicized better in the past, or maybe I just knew about it more because I follow wrestling and maybe it was publicized more in wrestling in the past. But let me jump into the results and attendant figures. The reviews that I heard were pretty good. So yesterday there was two games, and today there was two games, but the second game is going on now. Las Vegas Vipers versus Arlington Renegades. The Renegades beat the Vipers 22-20 in front of just over 12,000 fans. The Orlando Guardians lost to the Houston Roughnecks 33-12 in Houston in front of 12,784 fans. The biggest attended game, which was pretty much the equivalent of both of yesterday's day games combined, was St. Louis, the Battlehawks at San Antonio, the San Antonio Brahms. I don't even know what that is. But the Battlehawks beat San Antonio 18-15 in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome, the site of the Royal Rumble. 24,245 fans in attendance tonight, which is a great attendance. And Seattle is playing DC right now, so I'll tell you the results of that tomorrow. Richard Belzer, who is best remembered for his time on Law and Order SUV, passed away this weekend. And for wrestling fans, he's significant for this moment, and I'm going to show it to you right now.
You just tell me, brother, when you want him to quit squealing, okay?
All right.
It's called a front chin lock. How about it, T?
Keep him like that for a little while. Because he's all right. He's just sleeping. He's sleeping. Really, I was a sleeper hole. He'll be all right. He's waking up now. That was a serious move. A lot of people.
So, again, this actually happened after the David Schultz slapping of John Stossel, but for some reason it was covered up a lot better because, in my opinion, that was far worse than the John Stossel slapping. For one thing, he actually choked him out. And the proof of that, I've had people in locks like that, and I've come out of submissions like that and made that like that sound. That's like when your breath has been cut off for so long, like your body is just sucking the air back in when you come to. And Piper wants to say hello, by the way. She's 11 years old now. But back to that Richard Belzer thing, not only does he knock him out, but he lets his head smash against the floor. He doesn't even set him down gently or take care of him at all. So there was a settlement related to that where Hulk Hogan allegedly, I think the rumor was he had to pay around $400,000. But it's funny, wrestling went from that where you had to protect it to yesterday, right at the WWE press conference after the Elimination Chamber, Sami Zayn's breaking kayfabe, putting over Roman Reigns as a great character and talking about what a great storyline they have and great storytelling. So actually the best feud coming out of Elimination Chamber is the Ariel Helwani, Tony Khan feud where Tony Khan has been basically accusing him of being biased towards WWE, who he appears to have worked for over the weekend, Ariel Helwani. For those of you that don't know, that was a guy that used to work for UFC. Dana White hates him now, and he's been in a lot of shit because he makes a lot of money off of interviews and doesn't pay fighters, yet he complains that UFC doesn't pay fighters enough. And he recently called Tony Khan a snowman, insinuating that the slang term for snow, the white powder, commonly known as cocaine. So that's the most interesting feud coming out of Elimination Chamber. For some reason, New Japan Pro Wrestling had their own pay-per-view in competition with Elimination Chamber last night, rather than do it tonight when there's no wrestling competition. And Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné, won the women's title, and it was announced today her first defense is going to be at Sumo Hall, April the 8th in Japan. So she's not going to have a defense for a while. By the way, apparently the reason why she didn't sign with AEW is because they didn't want to sign her to a short-term deal, and because she wants to leave the door open to potentially go back to WWE. From what I understand, the New Japan contract doesn't appear to be that binding. No, Hulk didn't kill someone, as I said, as I showed the clip. He assaulted someone back in the 80s and had to pay a settlement related to that Hulk talks about in his book, and the guy died. Do they have an XFL Canadian team? No, they don't. And I don't have cable, so I really don't know if it airs in Canada or not. Jason just found out about the XFL because of this video. I only found out looking for the wrestling news today. That's how little publicity XFL got. I mean, my dad still reads the newspaper, and I'm pretty sure he would have told me if there was anything about XFL in the newspaper, because he always tells me if there's wrestling stuff in the newspaper. So I assume that it didn't get in the newspaper here. But I heard good reports from the people that saw it. They said the play was decent, the uniforms were good, and the shows were good. Piper's been on a couple walks today. She's sleeping beside me right now. Tom, Impact runs their pay-per-views on Friday, which is in competition of both SmackDown and Rampage. The people that run Impact are fucking idiots. They are fucking idiots. That's all I can explain to you. It's a shit company. When I was talking to Sid, he didn't even know. Sid is friends with PCO, and Sid didn't even know that PCO was wrestling for Impact. That's how much publicity Impact gets. Those two used to travel together. And he's very concerned, by the way, that PCO is taking all these crazy bumps at his age, as am I. I hope he ends up okay. Rick says XFL will be a big flop. I don't know. I really don't know. I was talking to someone in the hot tub the other day that was a huge football fan, and he seemed interested in it, or interested in like more football after NFL was over. We didn't get into XFL, so there's definitely a market for it. They're talking about the Impact pay-per-views, which air on Friday, Biggs. Thursday, yes, the show doesn't have competition, but their pay-per-views air in competition with SmackDown and Rampage, which is just stupid, which is just plain fucking stupid. I'm sorry to swear, but like, they truly have idiots running stuff. Dan says people are betting on XFL, so that's a good sign. Tom, Sid is going to be on soon. He called me about something else, another project that him and I might be involved with today, but I would say in the next few weeks that interview is going to take place. Typhoon is going to be on Friday, I believe at 10 p.m. Supermout Dave Drayson, former manager of the Sheik, is going to be Wednesday at 4 p.m. I'm interviewing him. Brett Sawyer was supposed to be on the Great North Wrestling podcast tonight, but he had some sort of technical issues. But I know that Jack Kilby has some other guys coming up, including possibly Ken Patera. Tom is watching Impact now, and he says it's don't waste your life, man. Find something better to do. I don't waste my life. But I am going to pay attention to what happens on Raw tomorrow because it's from right here in Ottawa, Canada. I believe I would bet that Logan Paul is probably going to be on it since he's wrestling with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And he's already in town for the Montreal Elimination Chamber. Supposedly, there's a rumor Cena might actually appear to help set up this Austin Theory WrestleMania match, but who knows? It depends, because I believe his wife is from Canada, in Vancouver. So if Cena is actually living in Vancouver, he wouldn't have to. He could probably just take a direct flight from Vancouver to Ottawa and not have to cross the border or anything. So it'd probably be pretty easy. So that's potential. Brock Lesnar hasn't appeared here since 2002 when he came out through the crowd with Heyman a couple nights after WrestleMania, the one where Rock faced Hogan. But apparently they might be doing a Brock Lesnar suspension angle. So who knows? But it'll be the biggest event that's been in Ottawa since SmackDown came in 2002 with Hogan, The Rock, Nash. Raw hasn't come since like 2001, which when they came in 2001, they had over 12,000. I've heard there's about 7,000 tickets out right now, which is good for Ottawa. So yeah, I'll pay attention to what happens on that show. Am I the guy that interviewed the Honky Tonk Man? Yeah, I've done several interviews with him. We used to be very good friends. We're not enemies or anything, but we just haven't crossed paths for a while. And he can be cranky from time to time, especially when he doesn't get his screech. Because that bad, if he's in Canada, he wants this screech liquor that I had a really bad experience on once with him that we're both lucky to be alive from. I've never seen the Young Rock. Rick, who I thank for being a member of this channel. Never seen the Young Rock. I know it gets usually around a 0.22 rating. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. No, I can't do a Paul Bear impression. My voice doesn't go high enough. Welcome to my parlor. No, my voice. But I was a big fan of Paul Bear. Yeah, maybe if I had some screech to loosen up my vocal cords. Tom, I think from what I remember, the funny thing about Honky Tonk Man, and I've told this story before, he likes Heineken from what I recall. And no matter where you are, see, he's also a bad influence on me, so it's better that we don't see each other. Because I usually go out of my way to not drink as much as possible. And he always has, like, we could be in the middle of nowhere, and somehow, like, out of his jacket, he'll pull out a beer, and he'll be like, Devin, I know you want some. But, like, no matter where he is, he, like, always has, like, a six-pack in his bag or, like, beer under his jackets. I don't know. He's really funny. But yeah, right now I've gone out of my partying phase. I'm 40 years old now, and I've partied enough in my life. Got enough partying stories to fill 2 books. And my first book is actually, I was talking to the author of it yesterday, and it's actually almost done. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of those stories in there. The Honky Tonk Man's 3-hour interview with me has almost 4 million hits, and it's the highest viewed shoot interview on the internet. Hopefully he'll do another one with me sometime. I've been to Windsor actually once, and I really don't want to go club. Honestly, I don't want to go clubbing. I really don't. I really don't. I as I've said before, I'm over that. It'd have to be a very special occasion, but for right now, I have a lot of projects that I'm working on, and it's best to not get distracted. I did enough partying the first year after I was divorced to last me the rest of my life. Impact never runs out of money. No, it's amazing. They don't. They've never made money, according to Dave Meltzer, but they're always around. They're like cockroaches. Yes, Billy Graham's back in the hospital. Yes. No, I'm not going to Raw tomorrow because I'm actually known in Ottawa by wrestling fans, and I really don't want it's. First of all, I'll explain the reason. I didn't even like doing security because I know I'm better than a lot of those wrestlers, and I always wanted to wrestle in that arena. And I remember once when I was doing security, I had my back to the ring, and there was a fan there saying, "Oh, this must be torture for you. You can't watch." It's like, no, I don't want to see other people living my dream that I know I'm a better wrestler than. Like that, it's just torturous and depressing. But I'll follow what happens. Richard Belzer, fast forward to the beginning. I've never been a merchandise seller. I really don't care about selling merchandise. The Blood Hunter never even signed autographs. Only in very special occasions. Anyways, for the people asking about the Hulk Hogan victim, watch the full thing. But I'm checking out for now. Have a great night. Thanks for all the comments and continued support on our way to 400,000 subscribers. Please subscribe if you haven't already.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot